Hey guys, it's Tuesday. Today we're talking about new construction homes. So if you've heard and seen the signs about the new townhomes that are coming to various areas throughout the United States, like Toll Brothers, Ryan Homes, those large organizations that create communities, this is what we're talking about today. I talked to you guys about things that I go through in my daily life running this business, and this is something that I went through with a client recently. We settled on Friday, but it was a long process for us. So I'm just giving you some tips. If you're looking to buy new construction homes that have not been completed yet, these are 4 tips in order to kind of stay ahead of the curve in this situation when you're dealing with these types of home builders. So 4, I would say, would be don't use their title company and their mortgage company. Most likely they own one of the other or both. Now, you generally have the opportunity to choose who you want to use, but they will try to pull you in with an incentive. For instance, they may give you, say, $15,000 towards your closing costs if you utilize their mortgage company. But if you don't do any research or any due diligence, then you don't know what the differences would be if you chose another company. So that other outside company may offer you 1 point less on the interest rate or half a point less on the interest rate that could equal more than $15,000 through the 30-year loan for the house. So it depends on kind of what's important to you. It may look good up front, but it may not be good for you in the long haul. Next, I would say do a 2-phase home inspection. So before they, put the walls up, you want to do an inspection before they put the drywall up. So you want to see all of the systems, all electrical, the plumbing. Have your inspector, who's a third-party entity, do the inspection to see that everything behind the walls that you don't know about is done properly and to code. And then you also want to do another inspection before you go to settlement. So that's important so you can see that all the finishes and all the handiwork has been done properly and into your liking. So that's number 3. Number 2, I would say don't spend the money in the wrong places in regards to bringing up your value, in regards to equity. Now, some people, like what they like. If you want chandeliers or if you want, soft closed drawers, then, I get it. However, it doesn't necessarily mean it'll bring up the value of the home. So don't always, be careful where you spend your money because that money may be a sunken cost and you may never recover that if you sell it. So if you're looking at, carpet versus hardwood, that's okay. If you're looking at laminate versus granite countertops, that's okay. In regards to, shaker cabinets versus laminate cabinets, they may not matter to a buyer. They may just take those out and do them themselves. So be careful about what you spend your money on in regards to upgrades. And also those upgrades may cost a little bit more if you go through the construction company versus doing them yourself. There may be an upcharge for them to complete it for you before you move in. And the number 1 thing I would say is definitely thoroughly read your contract. The contracts that builders offer are not traditional G-car contracts that we use in the DC, Maryland, and Virginia area. They are builders contracts. The builders contracts are to protect the builder, not you. So make sure you read it. There's very little loopholes in regards to getting out of their contracts, mainly because they're in the building process and they don't want you to say they want to close in 30 days and now we're at day 45 and then you're like, well, I'm out. It's taking way too long and now they've done this work that you wanted them to do in regards to specifically to your taste in regards to building the property, and now you're out and they're losing money. So it ultimately locks you in. Pretty much you have to just wait until they finish. I dealt with that with a client recently. We were under contract for 90 days because it was a condo conversion. They were pretty much done when we went to look at them and put an offer in. However, with dealing with DCRA or any government entities, tax and revenue, they have to go through inspections and paperwork and condo doc conversions in order to make sure they can get that title over to the new owner free and clear. And that just takes more time than expected, mainly because DC government, like DCRA and the inspections divisions, they are probably a little overwhelmed with all of the development that's going on in DC. So it does take them a while. And if they fail the inspection the first time, it'll take another couple of weeks for them to get back on the schedule for that inspector to come back out. Unless they have like some type of connection down at the offices, of course that's great. However, if they don't, you're kind of stuck. Like I said, there's very little wiggle room in builder contracts. So make sure you read through the builder's contract very thoroughly to see kind of what The damages could be if you exit the contract illegally, which is usually they take your earnest money deposit, or if there's any loopholes in regards to contingencies where you are able to exit the contract. Like I said, it's rare, but it can happen. So always make sure you have your agent double check those things for you. I hope these tips help. I'm open to any questions that you have if you're looking to buy any new construction, condos, townhomes, or anything like that. Otherwise, I will see you next week. See you.